Hey, do you want your sales copy so dripping wet with persuasion juice?
With a little juice. No, wheezing the juice.
That your prospects need a freaking beach towel to dry off their credit card after they buy from you? If so, you are in the right place today. I am John Benson, and this is Sales Copy Secrets. Welcome back. Hey, it's all about juicy verbs, specifically why verbs kill conversions unless they are juicy. I'm about to cover some copywriting tips and strategies that will help make you a better copywriter, help you start in the business of copywriting, help you improve your marketing, and just become an overall kick-ass person. Now, two favors. I want you to watch all the way to the end because I'm going to reveal my juiciest juicy secret toward the middle-end-ish part of the video, so don't try to skip over anything. Pay attention. And hey, if I've earned your like and trust at the end of this video or in the middle of this video or right now and you just love to hit that like button, pulverize it for me. And also share, subscribe, smash that notification bell so that you can hear from me whenever I drop new videos. And let's dive into the training. Verbs have really one function in copy: to implant a command. That's what verbs do. And because your job as a copywriter is to implant commands, not anything nefarious, it's just the way that we speak. When we speak to persuade somebody into any other position other than the one they currently have, you have to use persuasive triggers. And to do that, you need to implant commands. And that's why using lame verbs that just suck tank your conversions. Now, I'm going to show you a way in this video to turn average, dull, god-awful, limp dick, pathetic verbs into juicy verbs. And it all starts by simply noticing the freaking problem. You have to know there's a problem before you can solve it. Now, the second thing you need to do is you need to create a list, whether that's a digital list or a physical list, of the juiciest of juicy verbs that you come across in day-to-day life or you see in sales pages and you go, oh, I love that one. Oh, that made me feel something. That made me tickle in interesting places. Whatever your metric is for finding that juicy verb, write it down so you can collect a list of them. I'm going to give you about 10 of my favorites toward the end of this video, but you need to create your own. So what is a juicy verb? What do I mean by that? I mean a verb that you cannot unsee. It's a tactile verb that elicits a tactile response when you hear it. Verbs that put images into your prospect's mind, whether they want those images or not. Listen, great copy is visual copy. Please write that down. Great copy is visual copy. Copy that doesn't just tell a story, it shows a story to your prospect's mind. They're creating the story as they read it. They're painting pictures. They can't help it. The more pictures they paint, the more of a chance you have to make a sale. Now, let's take a look at a typical copywritten sentence on weight loss. That's what I always use for my teaching. And we'll look at why it's lame and how just changing the verbs changes everything. Ready? If you want to burn fat and look more attractive, and you don't like counting calories, I have good news for you today. Now, sure, that says exactly what it means. It is not a horrible sentence. It's a C, maybe a B- on the copywriting scale. It's okay. And I'm not saying if you wrote that sentence that you should give up and become a shaman monk or, live on the street. That's not what I'm saying. Unless you want to live on the street and become a monk, then go for it. What I am saying is that sentence lays there like a fish on a dock. Lame, lifeless, smelly. So let's juice it up. And we're going to do nothing to juice it up except change the verbs. Check it out. If you long to evaporate fat and appear more attractive, and you detest counting calories, I have good news for you today. Well, look at that. Just changing just the verbs. We took that from a C-level copy to a B+ at least. A lot better. You can't unsee some of those words. Listen, evaporate. You can't unsee that. You're watching something in your mind right now. When I say evaporate, you're watching water evaporate, right? You're watching something evaporate. Appear. Appears like out of nowhere. Well, everyone wants to change out of nowhere. Everyone wants to just appear like a genie, right? Well, look at the first verb, long. I long for something. When you hear that, what do you think? I long for a banana. Probably not. I long for epic love. I long to go on vacation. Well, I'm applying that verb that's used in those kind of sentences to this verb, and you can see where we're going. And finally, detest. I don't just don't like something. I freaking hate it. Even better than that, I detest it. So I didn't have to go to copywriting college and graduate with honors to change those verbs from lame verbs to juicy verbs. I just had to know how to do it. And now you do too. Now I can't let that sentence go just like that because we're so close to an A+ sentence. I have to keep going. So look what happens if I change just a few words around those juicy verbs. I add just a few words to that same sentence. Watch what happens. If you long to evaporate stubborn fat quickly, I added stubborn and quickly, and near instantly appear even more attractive and youthful. Oh, doesn't that sound better? More attractive and youthful? Yet you detest the idea of counting a single calorie. I just changed counting calories to counting a single calorie, and when I did that, it forced me to change it to detest the idea or the thought of counting a single calorie. I have delicious news for you today. Okay, I just love that ending part. Delicious news for you today. Delicious is the juiciest of juicy verbs I've used so far. And why is that? Well, it's not a verb, first of all, it's an adjective, but it's a topical adjective. It's a topical adjective. I'm talking about diets, weight loss, food. Use those kind of adjectives, okay? Or use those kind of verbs as well. Delicious is an adjective. It's a descriptor, right? But why say good news when you could say delicious news? What am I doing? I'm priming. We're going to cover that in another video. I'm setting ideas into my prospect's head. Whatever I'm going to be covering is delicious. And guess what? If I'm selling a diet book, yeah, you want it to be delicious. You see where we're going here. All of that happened because I decided to change 4 verbs. And then after that, I said, hey, I want to tweak just a few words in that sentence. And next thing you know, you go from a lame piece of copy to an A-level piece of copy very quickly. Now I'm going to read off a partial list. This is a very short list of some of my favorite juicy verbs, but I want you to hear why I like them. Banish, okay? Like I want to banish thigh fat. I don't want to burn it. I want to banish it. When you think of being banished, what do you think of? Yeah, exactly. You're picturing something right here. Crush. Help you crush your sales and conversions. Man, just want to crush it. You see it. You feel it. You can actually see the big robotic foot coming down on your head. Hopefully it doesn't kill you. Demand. Okay, like I'm going to demand that you listen to this. Okay, obviously that's a very powerful verb. Eradicate. I want you to help you eradicate belly fat or eradicate low sales. Eradicate. You think of a Klingon disruptor, or if you're a Star Trek geek like me, Federation phaser. Explore. Speaking of explore, like where would I use explore? I've got some good. I want you to explore some good news with me today. That's really interesting because it really evokes that sense of excitement and curiosity that lies within each of us. Feel. That's a great verb. Feel, touch, taste, because those are sensory verbs. Incinerate, obliterate, penetrate. Well, penetrate obviously has a lot of connotations, but hey, I'm going to help you penetrate the email marketing scene. Oh yeah, you see where we're going with this? If you know your target audience, you know that word might appeal to them. Resurrect. Probably one of my favorite juicy verbs. If I know I'm writing to a religious audience, I will use terms and verbs and phrases like, I want to help you resurrect and give you a new life to live in health and vitality. I'm speaking their language. Skyrocket your sales. Snap is another one because snap is an attention verb. I want to help you snap back to the body you had back when you were a teenager or something to that effect. Taste and touch I've already covered. And finally, unearth. Unearthed today. That gives that feeling of I'm literally like a treasure was unearthed, right? Like some Indiana Jones character unearthed some secret, unearthed a breakthrough secret to blank. Oh yeah, that's really good, isn't it? You can use it as a descriptor. You can use it as a verb. It's just a great word. Now there are hundreds of others, but they all do one thing and have one thing in common. They paint the picture of a story. More importantly than that, they let your prospect do the painting. And that almost always makes someone feel more rapport, more likely to buy. Now, lastly, don't feel the need to replace every verb in your copy with a juicy verb because that would get kind of a little old and probably a little overkill. But you definitely want to look at your bullets, your benefits, your headlines, your subheadlines. Those are places where the juicy verbs come in super, super handy. Now, much like John Carlton, I believe that you should not repeat verbs very much inside copy, even lame verbs like say lose weight. You shouldn't say lose weight over and over and over again or get more money or restore your marriage. Think of different ways to say lose. All right, this has been why verbs kill conversions unless they are super juicy. And now you know how to create killer copy just as simply by changing one word or two words. The verbs, baby. Change the verbs, Become juicy verbs, become better copy. And this can help copywriters and marketers improve their conversions and copy almost instantly, all by painting the pictures you want the customer to see in their mind, and then let their mind take over from there. And this lets you avoid getting your email or sales letter or whatever you sent somebody just thrown in the freaking garbage bin because of what I call blah, blah copy. If you've ever read The Far Side, one of my favorite Far Sides is what we say to dogs and what they hear. We say all this stuff to dogs and all they're hearing is blah, blah, ginger, blah, blah, ginger. Blah, blah, ginger copy is what you want to avoid like the plague. I'm here to help you do that. And coming up in the next video, I'm going to be talking to you about an NLP technique called future pacing and why future pacing can really ratchet up the sales that you get toward the end of any presentation. And it's a very specific technique. I will walk you through exactly how to do it. Most people do not teach this technique correctly. I'm going to show you how to do it, where to apply it, and what it can bring to you, which is more green. And hey, if you haven't watched my other videos in this series, they are going to be at the end, or at least one of them is. And hey, have yourself a freaking marathon, man. Stream them. Get into this because this can really help you in your copywriting and marketing endeavors. And remember to like, share, subscribe, comment below. And as always, I am John Benson, and I am here to make you unignorable.